What is up guys, Alex here. Have this brand new Poco phone, or Poco X3 NFC. In this video I'll be reviewing this phone, talking about its specs, should you buy it or not. I mean, if it's really good at all or not. I'm pretty sure this is one of the new phones from Xiaomi. I want to see the specs that they include. I'm going to show you guys a quick game test and stuff like that to see the actual speed of this phone, talking about its screen, battery, the general details that this phone may have. But without further ado, let's get on into the video. So for this Poco X3, it has a pretty cool design. It has the Poco logo right here on the sort of the back that you do have to turn it side to see it. So when you're taking a picture, it looks like this. Pretty cool. The camera is also a little bit squared like this, and it has the sides rounded out. Again, never seen that. Well, I mean, for new phones, I never really actually have seen that yet. But with this phone, I have. It has one LED flash right here and up to 4 cameras on the other sides. It weighs up to 215 grams, so not that heavy but not that light at the same time. But yeah, one thing I do want to mention is that it does come with a pre-applied screen protector. Not that they supply that in case you don't want to buy one or you can't find one on Amazon and stuff like that. They supply one for you and your screen is protected. Now, and they also supply a case, and not a bad case. It definitely protects your phone when it comes to dropping it on the floor. It also protects your USB Type-C, charging port as well. It comes with, the regular stuff for your phone. Now, this phone does have a fingerprint scanner as the power on button, which I really like, instead of it being, on the screen. Do have to get used to it to turning on my phone like this, because I'm used to just pulling it out and then just, unlocking it from the fingerprint. Now, with the case, do have to keep in mind that when you put it in, the camera does excel out a little bit. So you do want to be careful when you don't want to put it on the desk too hard, or the camera may break or the glass may shatter. So as far as I can see it, the camera glass, if you put it on the desk, it makes out a little bit. So be careful of that. I remember dropping it one time on its back, and the camera got scratched a little bit, but it didn't affect the camera quality. But that was the overall design. Now I want to talk about the screens. So the screen. Now, before I go into the specs of the screen, I do want to mention that when we were testing this out in the daylight, in the pure sun, the screen maintained itself pretty well. The brightness, you were able to see everything. Keep in mind, you do have to turn the brightness all the way up. So if you're low battery, keep in mind that if you turn the brightness all the way up, of course the battery is gonna drain a lot faster on the phone. But when it was at medium brightness, the phone, the screen maintained itself, and we could actually see what we were doing. When I had my Note 9, this wasn't a thing. Now onto the specs. It has a 6.67-inch screen, 1080 by 2400 pixels, IPS LCD screen. Again, super good. I want to compare this to my phone, which I have right now, which is going to be in the future, and the screen hertz or refresh rate is 120 hertz. Now for the 120 hertz, you can change it from 60 to 120. Now if you're a gamer, you can have it from 120, to see everything faster, of course, if you play video games on your phone. Or if you're just gonna do regular things like scroll through Instagram, or send messages and stuff like that, and just watch videos, 120 hertz may help you with the refresh rate if you're watching a video game. But if you're gonna do regular stuff, why drain your battery? Just keep it at 60 hertz like I have it, because I only do normal stuff on my phone. I don't really play on my phone unless I'm really bored. But if you want to and you're a gamer, 100% turn it up to 120 hertz. Now the screen also provides HDR10 with Corning Gorilla Glass 5, so it's super protected. You have that screen protector on top of that, and it has HDR10, which is really cool that Poco or Xiaomi supplied this for this phone. And actually the price of this phone, which I'm gonna mention at the end of the video, will surprise you with all the stuff that this phone has. 100%, you're probably gonna get surprised, and you might want to decide on buying this phone instead of a flagship, for to have a little bit best stuff. But with this one, just right in the middle. Overall camera. So this phone comes with 4 quadruple cameras. It comes with a 64 megapixel camera, wide, ultra wide, depth sensor, and macro camera. I don't know why they still include macro cameras, but okay. As well as a main 20 megapixel camera. Now these cameras in the back are able to record, or record at 4K and take pictures at 4K 30 FPS, which is again super cool. I like that phones are implementing 4K and maybe even on some phones 8K cameras for you to take pictures with. Of course, if you don't have a monitor or a TV that can render those pictures at 8K, you probably won't be able to see the full quality of it, and your phone may compress it down so you're able to actually view it. Now the front camera is a 20 megapixel wide sensor with HDR and shoots at 1080p. It's a regular frontal camera, but the back cameras are surprised me because 4K 30 FPS 64 megapixel, and then it has 4 other cameras with macro, ultra wide, and depth sensor, which is also pretty cool. Of course, I'm showing you guys images of these cameras as I mentioned them right now, like the ultra wide, macro sensor, and depth sensor, and of course some pictures at 4K 30 FPS. Of course, videos 30 FPS maybe in the future, but since this phone has a lot of specs, I may be doing a video in the future about it, talking in more depth review when it comes to the cameras. Now, processing power. Now keep in mind I have the 6GB of RAM version, which is the only version you can get, but you can get it with 128GB of storage, and you can of course add a micro SD card into it to extend that storage. But right now you can only get 6GB of RAM. I mean, I guess it's okay, but 8GB of RAM would have been also pretty cool. Now this one has a Snapdragon 732G of 8 nucleus, and it has it in the GPU is an Adreno 618 GPU, which is also pretty cool. Can definitely run your average games from Fortnite, Call of Duty Mobile, games like that, Asphalt 9, of course, that you can run on this phone. If you're really bored, or if you're just a mobile gamer like that, you can run Fortnite on it. And if you have an iPhone and you're stuck in the last season, but yeah, definitely 100%, we're talking about a phone that is super cheap. It's like a definitely not a flagship price phone, of course, but this phone is actually not bad whatsoever. Sadly, it only comes with 6GB of RAM, but the Adreno or the Snapdragon 732G and the Adreno 618 can definitely run the games that you want to play. Again, not a super expensive phone, which is what I really like about this. Now I'm gonna go on into the battery and a little bit more of the specs. Okay, when it comes to battery, 5160 milliamp hours, that is definitely just fine for this phone. The components of this phone are not that heavy, but they're right in the middle, so it can run your average games. Of course, this may vary, if you like to play video games a lot on your phone, or if this is your main driver, of course, for everything you do, then of course the battery may vary. But overall, my personal experience, it will definitely last you an entire day when it comes to doing the regular things. Now if you're a gamer on your phone, then yeah, it may not last you an entire day. Maybe it lasts you like maybe 8 hours and stuff like that. But 5160 milliamp hour battery is definitely pretty good, and it does come with a 33-watt charger in the box, which is also super cool. Again, the components in there are not that heavy, but they're just enough so it can run your average games and not diminish the battery like that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was for the battery. Yeah, this phone, for the President phone, was like $250 when I got it. Again, not that bad for a phone that has a 5160 battery, Snapdragon 32G, Adreno 16, can shoot at 4K 30 FPS. The frontal camera is 20 megapixels, but frontal cameras are usually not that good when it comes to smartphones. The screen has a 120 Hz display. Again, really cool phone, can run your average games and stuff like that. For the price of $250, or when I got it, it was $250. It may depend from where you get it, but I'll definitely leave a link in the description for you guys if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, this phone is not bad. Like, the way they did this, it was 100%, I guess, for people that needed a cheap phone, but a phone that also worked for what they were gonna do, and that didn't, that wasn't bad. It comes with a headphone jack that phones nowadays don't do. And if you don't have a headphone jack, or headphones that come with a headphone jack, you can of course always connect the USB Type-C on the bottom if you have headphones that connect that way. But you do need a USB Type-C headphone, or I guess headphones that have a USB Type-C connector for the phone. The speakers aren't that bad either. Again, for a phone that costs $250, a lot of people can definitely buy this and use it as their main phone because it'll definitely run for sure. Stay tuned for more comparisons in the future with maybe Note 20, maybe the Poco phone F2 Pro, phones like that, comparisons in the future. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.